All right, so sorry for the delay, but we'll be starting soon. For those who are here in the prayer hall, if you can get one sheet that looks like this, it says Words for Life. For those joining on Zoom, no worries. I'll be showing this on the slide later, so you'll be able to screenshot it. If you don't have it, please take a copy. Yeah. All right, so let us go ahead and get started. Happy to see very beautiful faces here in San Francisco. My name is Yushi Hagimoto. I am from New York. I usually lecture in New York, but every once in a while, I just do a little trip around to the West Coast to help support the activities here. And it's a pleasure to be here. I really love this temple. I mean, just look how beautiful this place is, right? It's I mean the glass there, the blue thing here, and then like all the prayer hall. You guys have a seminar room, you guys have a wonderful kitchen. I heard that Anja brings a lot of food for us. So everybody does. So it's a very happy community, and I'm just so happy to be a part of today's workshop. And also a lot of people joining from Zoom. Thank you so much. Today I was given 90 minutes to give a talk on this. I hope you see it on the screen right now. Yes. Living with a spiritual view of life, the key to unlock happiness. For longtime Happy Science members, it may be the very basic teachings of Happy Science, but the basic is the most important. So I'd like to go over that together. And if you're fairly new, I think you'll be gaining new type of information. And today, it's not like just an intellectual, knowledgeable information sharing, but it's more like a heart to heart. I want to speak from heart to heart, and to be able to really unlock the power of your mind as a child of God, child of Buddha, to gain true happiness. And it's going to be mainly based on this wonderful book, The Laws of the Sun. Who has this book? You have this book? Yeah, yeah. All right. Who has read this book? Yeah, all right, all right. Good, good, good. This book is incredible. And today I'll just be doing an introduction about it on how to be happy. But first, let's look at the author, Master Ryuho Okawa. Ryuho Okawa. He is a very prominent spiritual leader in Japan. I would say the most famous in Japan, actually. And let's look at his records. He's written over 3,000 books. 3,000. And of course, he is a Guinness World Record holder for publishing the most amount of books in 1 year. And he has delivered more than 3,500 different lectures. And he continues to spread the spiritual knowledge, the truth, the wisdom that comes from the eternal Buddha, or some may call him Allah, God, the universal being, the universal knowledge, the creator, right? So he gives us all of this incredible information, but here's a question. How can one person write 3,000 books? Who's written a book in this room today? Anyone? Anyone ever published a book? Okay, not so much as ever. All right, so because like the reason why I asked is in New York, I guess it's like a thing for a lot of people to write books these days because it's very easy to publish a book now because from Amazon you can easily publish a book. So a lot of people, the guests that come to Happy Science, they're open-minded, they're very knowledgeable, and they like to share their opinions, so they write books. So I asked, but then when I asked in New York, they're like, "Oh yeah, I've written a book." I asked them how many. Usually it's about one, right? And I asked them how long did it take. One lady told me 15 years. She was thinking so much to put so much energy in that one book, and that's actually pretty normal. To be able to compile one book is a hard thing to do. You have to put a lot of information and knowledge into it. But going back to this Master Okawa, writing 3,000, not 30, not 300, 3,000. How does he do this? Where did this journey begin? It's from here. He started receiving spiritual messages in 1981. So he receives the this incredible knowledge from heaven. And that is how he reveals and writes so many books. And the very first one is The Laws of the Sun. It's a very spiritual book. He didn't write it out as his own consciousness, right? It's called automatism in a spiritual phrase, or automatic writing. So what he did was he held a pen and then he channeled all of this information that's written in this book in like I think it was like in 40 hours. So he wasn't thinking. And then he came up with these 6 chapters. But what I'd like to show you as an introduction today is first 2 commercials of this promotional video of The Laws of the Sun, and then a lecture excerpt, Master Okawa explaining what it was like when he first wrote this book. So let's look at the 3 video clips together.
It's like the emergency kit when you when you have to think differently, and that's when, oh, where's that book, you know, and you have to look, oh man, you have to reread this and hopefully find an answer where you are now. If you're looking for a possible answer in life, then you will like this book.
Jesus and Buddha are best friends. Ever wondered if there might be more than what's written in the Bible? Are you seeking to know the true heart of Jesus? Jesus said, "Love your enemies." But while the deeds of Christians saved many souls, they also left a history of destruction and struggle in their wake. Was everything they did really the will of God? Buddha said, enlightenment can be attained through empathy and compassion towards others. Buddhist monks diligently sought enlightenment. They believed in the eternal underneath the transient. But as time passed, Buddhism turned into materialism. Religions are now either shadows of their former selves or the seeds of war. Meanwhile, the world slides further into turmoil. The pandemic, followed by recession and inflation, increasing crime, drug use, and mental health disorders. Who can explain the meaning of living in this world? But when the world appears to sink into darkness, the sun of truth begins to rise. The love taught by Jesus and the enlightenment taught by Buddha is united in a single book. Within it is the truth that connects East and West, past and future. Read this book and awaken to the truth. Despite it all, God never ceased to love humankind.
Listen carefully, my soul. I have here the door to the truth.
As I mentioned several times in the past, The Laws of the Sun is a book I wrote entirely by automatic writing. I held a pencil in my hand and let it write the manuscript automatically of its own volition. My hand kept moving and wrote down everything without having to have any reference materials. My hand filled 5 pages of 400-character manuscript paper every hour. The first edition was exactly 300 pages long, which means that I wrote the entire book in 60 hours. It was a mystical experience for me to write a book by automatic writing. My hand just moved by itself and wrote words on the paper. from a standpoint of convenience, I guess this is a very beneficial ability. I could write without having to use my brain, so apart from having stiff shoulders, it was a very convenient skill. In that sense, we can say that The Laws of the Sun has irreplaceable value as my first handwritten book.
All right. So, 60 hours just automatically. And if you read this book, you'll be astonished that someone can write this in 60 hours. Like I said, one lady told me to write a single book. It took her 15 years, 60 hours to write all of this. But it's got so much content, right? Let's go back to my PowerPoint slide. In this book, just off the top of my head, you discover all of these things: the purpose of your life, the function of your mind and soul, the truth about the afterlife, the secrets about the multidimensional universe, the relationship between different prophets, messiahs, saviors, and Buddhas, the 7 colors of the primordial Buddha's functions. And it reveals the truth about this entity named El Cantata. So there's it's so rich in contents, right? If I started doing a seminar on all of these, it would probably be way over 60 hours. So today, going back to the topic, unlocking your happiness, right? Who's not considering their happiness? Who doesn't care about their happiness? No one. We all want to achieve and attain and maintain happiness, don't we? Right? That exhilarating feeling that comes from the bottom of your soul, that you're being alive, feeling satisfaction every day, feeling positive the moment you wake up. Let's see a raise of hands. When you woke up today, who woke up this morning saying, I'm happy? Probably not so many. Oh, there's one. There's one. It's not so easy, right? It's not so easy unless you're like in elementary school and it's the first day of summer break. Then you wake up saying, I'm happy. But we don't really get that feeling every day. But here in Happy Science, through El-Cantar Faith and Master Okawa's teachings, we will learn how to say, I'm so happy every single day. And today, as a way to do so, we're going to focus on this one point, the true function of our minds and souls. So another question that I'd like to ask the audience today is, who are you? Who are you? You're not allowed to use your name, though. Our eyes just met. Angie. Without saying I'm Angie, if I ask you, who are you? What's your answer? I'm created by God. What? Round of applause to that. Created by God. All right. How about Mr. Princeton? Who are you? Alien. Yes, we are all definitely, most certainly aliens. And welcome to planet Earth, sir. In a human body. I just gotta explain that because people on Zoom can't see. So they might be thinking that there's like a gray here. But no. He's a human being with an alien soul in his body. But yeah, so there's different ways to define yourself. But in the Laws of the Sun, Master explains it real simply in one word: your mind. What you're thinking, your thought patterns, is the essence of who you are. Yeah. In the Laws of the Sun, he teaches us human beings are spiritual beings. And then he also goes to deeply explain what the mind is. The relationship between the terms consciousness, spirit, soul, and the mind. The mind is the core part of the soul. Yeah, a lot of words just like stacking up on top of each other, and it's a little confusing. It's very theoretical. It's very vague to understand the mind in words. So let me show you a little bit of an illustration. Simply put, it's true that we have a physical body, yeah? But inside our physical body, the soul resides, right? The soul. And the soul apparently looks exactly like our physical body. Because Master Okawa, he can see, he has spiritual sight, right? So he can see people's souls, and he confirmed that even souls have these like the shape of nails on them. So like they're literally exactly like a human physical body, except it's not in a physical form anymore. It's a soul, it's an energy. And then at the core part of it, like around the chest right here, there is the mind. Yes. The mind, yes. So the mind, and I guess in like Western terms, when we say the mind, it's more like a function of the brain. But in the Eastern, more like Oriental perspective, the mind, it's called kokoro in Japanese. Kokoro is like the mind and heart put together, your consciousness, right? And it functions as the core function of your soul. So when we die, our physical body will be burnt, will be buried, it's gone, yet we continue to exist. What continues to exist? It's our soul and it's our minds. Now, today, one thing that I would like you to know is if the mind is the true essence of ourselves, there's the secret, the key to unlock our happiness. Or people use the mind in the wrong way to create unhappiness too. So what I like to say is, please never underestimate the power of your mind and your thoughts. In this book, The Laws of Future, Master has explained brilliantly, humans are what they think about. A person's thought define who he or she is. The quality of a person is equal to the quality of his or her thoughts. Life, this is very important, guys. Life will develop according to your thinking. Your mind is the very core cause of happiness. Your mind is the very core cause of your future. Your mind is the very core cause of your finance, of your health. Everything is created from your thoughts. Therefore, today, we'll be unlocking how to use the power of the mind from two perspectives. Two key phrases that I'd like you to take home with you today. One is thought tape. We all have something called a thought tape, sounentai, and it's very important to cleanse it in order for us to use the power of the mind to be happy. The second point that I would like you to take home with you today is using your unconscious mind. We use the term subconscious a lot, but in the book called The Laws of Wealth, Master Ryuho Kawa explained using the term, it's the unconscious mind. So I'm going to go with that term today. So today we're going to be learning about these 2 points, all right? Are you guys ready to learn how to be happy? Perfect. So let's look at the first one. What's a thought tape? What's a thought tape? First, I'd like to show you this diagram here. This is all explained in the Laws of the Sun. Master Kawa explained that there's a certain structure to our minds. It's not just like a floating, fluffy energy. There is a function to it. There's like a it's manufactured by God in a certain way, right? And it looks like this. The master has taught us that it's like a shape of an onion. Our mind has layers, is what he's saying. At the very surface of the layer of the mind is our surface consciousness, the surface. So what you're thinking right now, you can hear it, you can listen to it, that's the surface thoughts. However, below the surface, there's something called the subconscious mind. A very easy way to explain the subconscious mind is it's the mind, a part of your mind that's you're not aware that's thinking, but is always thinking and allowing you to function properly. So if I were to give an example, we're breathing air right now, right? We're doing it unconsciously. Our hearts are thumping right now. It's done unconsciously. So it's what they say is it's the subconscious mind that's functioning these parts of the body. We're unaware of it, but it's still doing it. It's called the subconscious. And however, this is taught in psychiatry and all that, simply put, but as a spiritual teacher, Master has found out that our subconscious mind is connected to multidimensional universes. So as you can see, the deeper you go into the mind, you go to higher dimensions. And we call this the multidimensional universe. The multidimensional universe. So our inner universe is actually connected to all of the spiritual world that is out there. And if you look at the very core part of it, you see the yellow part that says 9. This is called our Buddha nature. So Angie, I think you said in the beginning, we're all created by God, right? When I asked you who you are. When he created us, he actually imbued us with a part of his creative energy. So we all have this magnificent, wonderful, sane power and light that God has. That's why we're children of God. But then, here's a simple question. If we have the same nature as God within us, why aren't we like God? Why do we make mistakes? Why do we still suffer? Why are we sometimes ignorant of the truth? Well, here's the answer. Let's look at this thick blue layer between the surface and the fore. This is what we call the thought tape. The thought tape. And think of a thought tape as if it's a window. You see? So, you have these windows here right now, right? To the right of you. And because of this window, you can't see the outside because of, I want to say it's not dirty, but like because of this design. That's what it's like. If you cleanse the window, you can see through and you can connect. And it's a thought tape. So it's a recorder. It's recording something all the time. What is it recording? It's recording your thoughts. Yeah? So let's look in a little more deeply into this the mechanism of thought tape, because this is the key to unlock our happiness. And let me show you a little video clip that explains the function of this thought tape.
It has been explained that there are both surface consciousness and subconscious in our mind. However, the core of our subconscious mind extends further to the world beyond. We humans appear to be separate, independent beings. But in fact, the cores of our subconscious minds are all connected to the multidimensional universe. So, it is very similar to a bamboo shoot. Each bamboo shoot on the ground seems to be independent, but under the ground, they are all connected with other bamboo shoots. Likewise, we humans look quite independent, but in fact, we are all connected to the multidimensional universe, and to God, the parent of our soul. Energy of light flows into our heart from God, which is called spiritual flow. Each of us has a separate and distinct character, which represents one aspect of God. The meaning of faith is to acknowledge and understand this truth and to realize that the love of God pours into us. With strong faith, power from a higher dimension can work in us and illness may be cured. Furthermore, in the depths of our hearts, we are connected to other people who are also a part of God. Each of us is not a separate entity, but we are all one. Especially, we are connected with deep ties to our Dharma friends of the same faith. Through the bond of faith, the power of prayers toward the friends flows into the depths of the sick person's heart and serves as a power to create miracles.
Right. So that was an explanation.
It has been-
That was an explanation saying how all of our Buddha natures are also connected to each other. Not only to God, the creator, the eternal Buddha, but to each other. And like I said, we call that the multidimensional universe. It exists within our subconscious mind. So that means heaven and hell exist within our minds. Also, the primordial Buddha named El Cantare, who exists in explained in the laws of the sun, who exists in higher than 20th dimension, also is there. However, what we have to understand here is this. Well, first and foremost, before the thought tape, let me explain a little more about the subconscious mind. As a child of God, we have Buddha nature. And what are the qualities of a Buddha nature? Everything that's written here. Within you, you already have the power of love. Within you, you already have compassion, mercy, kindness, courage, wisdom, honesty, diligence, peace of mind, a heart of blessing others, a grateful heart, cheerfulness, hard work, faith, prayer, abundance, tolerance. This is a little Buddhist, an unattached heart, good words, understanding the suffering and joy of others as yours, justice, aspiration, development, a healthy relationship, healthy family, perseverance, steadfastness, strength of will, hope, and generosity. So all of these good qualities already exist within us. So the key to happiness is not outside of you, but it's inside of you. When we tend to seek happiness outside of us, and that's where the misery begins. Because in this world, there are more things that are hard to be attained than that is easy to acquire, right? It's so hard to attain things in this world. But when we start searching happiness outside of us, we get the suffering of not getting what we want. That's why we have to awaken to this inner value that's inside each and every one of our souls. Going back to this diagram here. Sorry. If it exists, going back to the thought tape, what clouds this thought tape to make it into a blockage? It's these dark thoughts, or we call them negative thoughts. And when these negative thoughts are recorded in your mind and it's not cleansed, it blocks that light. It's like no matter how much of a sunny day it is, I mean, even if the sun is above us, if there are clouds, the sun doesn't penetrate through the clouds. They're the same thing. Then, as you can see, it might be a little hard to read, but on these black little clouds here, there are different types of negative thoughts that I wrote. Anger, jealousy, sadness, animosity, pain, complex, sorrow, self-doubt, inferiority, insecurity, pride, and ego. These are just some of the examples of negative thoughts that block us, block our inner light. Not only that, let's go in a little deeper. The thoughts that are recorded in the thought tape, you see in the spiritual world, the past, present, and future exist in the same realm. So even if it was a negative thought that occurred a year ago, if it wasn't cleansed, that negative thought is still there and it's still vibrating and it still exists. And when that negative thought is still vibrating on your thought tape, what happens? Another function of thoughts, the mind that Master has taught us, is that thoughts are wavelength. Thoughts are wavelengths. So it's got these different wavelengths, and there is a law called same wavelengths attraction. Same wavelengths attraction. Simply put, there will be two types of wavelengths of our minds. One is called the alpha wave, and the other one is called beta waves. Alpha wave is the wave that comes out from that, the good heart that I was talking about earlier, like love, compassion, courage, peace of mind, justice. When you have all of these sort of thoughts that's heavenly and godly and Buddha-like, what happens is it's an alpha wave. It's a calm wave. And that is how you attract heavenly beings into your life. But if you have negative thoughts, it looks like this. It's called a beta wave. It's very it's all pointy and you can tell that you're stressed. by this wavelength. And how does this wavelength affect, that's coming out of our thought tape, how does it affect our life? One thing, because of the laws of same wave attraction, it can lead to spiritual possession. Now let's look at a little clip that explains this.
According to the law of the same wavelengths attraction, evil spirits possess people who share a similar mentality as theirs. That's why, instead of blaming evil spirits, we need to reflect on our own mind that is attracting them. This is the principle of self-responsibility. What is the mentality of an evil spirit? The mind of an evil spirit is full of jealousy, anger, complaints, dissatisfaction, pessimism, laziness, greed, and negativity. Evil spirits usually approach people whom they knew while they were still alive in this world. If you live with the right mind, not only are evil spirits unable to possess you, but they will be made to realize their mistakes. This is a great chance for them to be saved.
Thank you very much. So when we have a lot of clouded thoughts on this on our thought tape, and if it hasn't been cleansed, it turns into a mess, like a real mess. It's kind of like an untamed garden where there's weeds sprouting out from everywhere. A couple weeks ago, because of the thought tape here, the windows, you can't see outside these windows, right? One time, Tyler, he decided to open that window. And then the San Francisco members know, but because there was this little issue where the tree fell down and yeah, you know, went through all that, right? So like they didn't really have the time to tame the garden. So it's been a little while, and then Tyler decides to open the window. He cleansed the mind, right? The thought tape. He looks out. There's this huge forest of weeds. That today, after this, for those who are here, we're gonna have a barbecue party, and we're gonna be having it right out there. So what he did was he pulled out all the weeds one by one, and he made this wonderful garden looking kind of like with rocks and all that, with chairs and with steps. It's beautiful. So I'm totally going off topic, but going back to the topic, we have to be careful. When we don't take care of our minds, the thought tape, it grows like a forest, and that forest attracts a lot of flies, mosquitoes, snakes, and all these negative things that you don't want to exist in your room. Now, Master has taught us that 70% of something is caused by a possession of evil spirits. And then 99% of something is caused by possession of evil spirits. The first one, or there's two. What do you think they are? Material things, yeah? Insecurities. Stress, fatigue, all of that. You nailed it. that would be like 100%. That's 100%. But it manifests in like not just emotional level, but in a physical form. Yes, sometimes these negative possession can manifest itself in a negative way, in a physical form. First one, 70% of ailments, physical ailments, are caused by spiritual possession of evil spirits. How scary is that, right? Because the thoughts have creative energy, so it can create a negative, an ailment in your body. Then what's 99%? This one was a shocker for me when he first taught us, but made a whole lot of sense. disharmony at home. If you're having a very bad fight, a human relationship within your household, 99% of the time, evil spirits has possessed either you, your spouse, your child, your cousins, or whoever you're living with, 99% of the time. How do they make a disharmonious home? It's simple. They amplify your negative emotions towards the other person. And they amplify your negative speech. And you say something that hurts them, and then they fight back. And then while you're going at each other like that, unknowingly, the evil spirits slip in and they start clouding your views. For some reason, you loved your spouse for such a long time, but now all you can see is that he's a big jerk, that she is such an evil person. But 10 years ago, when you first married her or him, you were very happy. All of that view has been tainted because of this evil spirit's act. Here's another scary fact that Master is revealing to us. There is something called hell on earth. You see, when you think about evil spirits, you'd imagine them crawling out of hell, right? The pits of hell to possess you. It's not only from hell that they're appearing these days. They are now, through Master Okawa's spiritual abilities, he's seeing that because modern day people don't have belief in the afterlife anymore, like I said, what you think is who you are. After you die, your physical body is gone, but your consciousness still exists. But they deny the fact that the afterlife exists, so they're confused, which means they can't go to heaven or hell. And it's so sad, but these souls turn into like parasite type of beings. So they exist among us on this planet. And these beings are increasing incredibly rapidly because we've never lived in an era so secular as it is today. And these beings that we don't see with our physical eyes, ladies and gentlemen, please know the fact that they are affecting us 24/7, even while we're asleep. These beings are affecting us. Now, with this truth told, isn't it so important so that we're not messed by these beings? That we're protected from these beings? Yes. Going back to how to cleanse our thought tape. Once your thought tape is cleansed, they cannot put a nail on you. They can't touch you. They can't see you. They can't see beings from another spiritual wavelength. You can cloak yourself from them. How do we do it? Simply 2 steps that we teach here in Happy Science. First off, we teach you how to be a good meditator, meaning how to be good at calming your mind. Remember that wavelength thing, the beta wave that I showed you earlier? When you're irritated, right? Your wavelength is like this. That's when evil spirits can latch on and make your life more miserable. So that if you can deliberately calm that wavelength, they can't latch on. Yeah. And we'll be teaching you how to do this. And we'll practice that a little bit today. Also, once your mind is calm, the funny thing is, once you learn how to calm your mind, you become your own analyst, coach, and cheerleader. You start seeing your mind objectively. It's like when your mind is stuck onto you, the emotional wavelength, it's a hurricane. But let's say that you put that mind out, right? You pull it out of your chest and you lock it up in a clear box in front of you. And then once you start observing it, interestingly, that first you become calm. And like I said, you start learning how to become your own coach. You start learning how to be your own cheerleader. And you start learning how to be your own consultant. This is the power of calming your mind, and we call that changing the channel of your mind. You put the radio box outside of you and you start changing the channel in the right direction. Simply put, it's categorized in 3 types of ways of thinking. Thank you. I'm sorry, God, I made this mistake. I repent my mistake. And then congratulating other people who are successful. Thank you, I'm sorry, and congratulations are the simple steps to change your wavelength. But today, I wanted to be more concrete. That's why I prepared this worksheet. Words for Life, contemplation points to cleanse your thought tape. But we'll get into this later. And like I said, for people on Zoom, I'll show this on the screen. So this is simply put the method of cleansing our thought tape. So let's practice this today. We'll practice this in 3 steps. First off, I guess it'll be an introduction to Zen. We do something called reciting a sutra or chanting a sutra, I guess, in other Buddhist temples, they say chant. When you chant these words, it gives you light because words have power, incredible amount of power. And these words come from the very top of the spiritual world, from the 9th dimension. So by reciting and chanting these words, it allows you to channel your mind to a higher wavelength. And then you will see the effect. You'll feel it in your mind, feeling calmer and calmer. And if you are a spiritually receptive person, you'll also feel light. You'll feel warm when you read this sutra. So as the first step, we're going to take 3 steps today. As the first step of cleansing our thought tape, let's practice reciting this out loud together. If it's your first time, you can just kind of like follow along and mumble along and just feel the energy. I will say it from the front. And if you're already a member and if you have this sutra, please whip it out. And I think it's like, is it handed out, the sutra around? Oh, okay, sorry, thank you. Sorry, thank you. And for those who are on Zoom, if you have this sutra, go ahead and pull it out. If not, please look at the screen right here. I'm sorry, it's very small letters, but I hope you can read it along. And let's chant, recite the sutra together. First, I'm going to be taking a bow, and then I'll recite the first 2 sentences, the true words spoken, or the title, the true words spoken by Buddha, Ryuho Oka. And then from the first line, there used to be. From there, we'll read it out loud together. Let us now recite the true words spoken by Buddha together to receive the light from heaven. The true words spoken by Buddha, Ryuho Okawa. There used to be the light in the great universe. The light is the energy of Buddha. People can live by this energy, and Buddha's energy has made human history. It will be supplied eternally. This eternal light comes from heaven and prevails on earth. This is the light of heaven. Through the prism of Buddha, there appeared the 7 colors of rainbow, arching over in the sky. Here you can see Buddha's mercy. Yellow is the color of teaching. White is the color of saving. Red is the color of justice. Purple is the color of obedience. Blue is the color of thinking. Green is the color of harmony. Silver is the color of progress. These 7 colors help each other, and there appears Buddha land. Buddha land is shining brightly because of gathering of bodhisattvas. This is the land of love or the land of mercy. This is the land of wisdom or the land of teaching. Especially, this is the land of souls rest in peace. Real souls are the children of Buddha. The children of Buddha became real human beings. Real human beings have spirituality. The spirits are immortal powers. The spirits are immortal forces. The spirits are real entities. The physical bodies are the shadows of the spirits. It means you are the boat sailing down the great river. The great river is the symbol of the course of lives. Each of you sails down as a small boat, so you need a boatman. If it were not for your own boatman, you surely go aground. This boatman really means your mind. If your mind makes a mistake, the boat breaks into pieces by a large rock, and you also need a bamboo pole. This pole is the meaning of the true words. When you go down a rapid stream, you need to punt in a stream. Then you can change your course. The true words means the teaching of Buddha. Buddha enlightened and spoke the true words, and Buddha's teaching became a gold mine. This gold mine suggests various teachings. These are another expression of Buddha's truth. It brightens up your days. Or to put it another way, the fruits of Buddha's mercy. All of you, now, here, listen to me. Never lose your way, now and forever. The guiding hand has already waved. Please follow this white hand and go straightly on and on. Your lives are not limited to this world only. They have three aspects: the past, the present, the future. Your past have already gone by, yet still your mistakes will be kept in your minds. That is the reason why you should understand other people, and you yourself should reflect on what you have done. You and others are not different. On the contrary, both are children of Buddha and brothers and sisters. Now then, love each other. Let us bring up each other, and it's time to forgive each other. This is the eternal law, which penetrates the present and the future. Yes, indeed, the light of the dark night. The dark night of this world is hell. It is also the same in another world. Since we came down to this world, the sun of the truth is scheduled to rise. Now we are watching rising sun. It will shed light to the future to invite sad people to Buddha land. Now here I command, there shall not be conflict in this world. There shall not be distrust in this world. There shall not be crime in this world. There shall not be evil spirit in this world. There shall not be the devil in the next world. Only the ideal world, utopia, shall be realized. All of the people love each other, live harmoniously, believe in one another. That world is utopia. All of us could be the light of bodhisattvas. Believe in that the light has reality. Believe in that love has reality. Believe in that the truth has reality. These are the facts that should be conveyed. We, the light of bodhisattvas, get together, work together to keep right mind and live in tune with Buddha's words. Here we vow to do so. All right, so that was the true words spoken by Buddha. I don't know about you guys, but I felt so much warm that I'm sweating right now. But no joke though, like every time I really recite this sutra, it's a discipline, ladies and gentlemen. Happiness doesn't come with like a finger snap. If there are any gurus that's saying that you can instantly be happy, please be aware that they're tricking you. It takes time to change our mindset. But one thing that I can promise you is these words, it's like the North Star. It's the north that's on the compass needle. We know which way to be happy. If you are drowning in the ocean, in the sea, as long as you know the direction of the shore, you'll be safe. But a lot of the times in life, when we're drowning, we tend to just go deeper and deeper into the waters, having this as a North Star of happiness. Now let's get into the second stage of cleansing our mindset. This is called, we have many, many different types of meditation that we teach in Happy Science, but the most basic and most important one is called counting meditation. What we do is we count our each breath when we do the meditation. So we breathe in from the nose, and then you count 1 in your mind. And then when you breathe out from your mouth, you count 2. And then you breathe in from the nose, 3, 4, 5, 6, like this. You count in your mind, and this is the best way to shake off any sort of irritated thoughts that's going through your mind. And spiritually seen, when you practice this deep breathing, Master Okal has taught us that you're not just breathing in dimensionally, you're actually breathing in God's light. And then when you breathe out, here's the miracle of it. You're breathing out the negative, toxic thoughts and the clouds in the mind. You're breathing it out. This is a spiritual practice Master has taught us. And then when you count to 10, it's good to go back to 1. And instead of focusing on how high I can get in numbers, but just, just focusing on the numbers. This is, I guess, like in secular terms, this would be mindfulness. Mindfulness. You're just being mindful of your breathing. And oh my gosh, this works wonders. There is one thing that I'd like to ask you. You're all sitting. So what I would like you to do, sorry, I'm going to be a little bit of off camera right now, but please listen in from Zoom. What I'd like you to do is make sure that you sit up straight so that you're not slouching. If you slouch during meditation, it can, 1, hurt your back and you can fall asleep. So try to have your back as straight as you can, and you can use the backrest like this. And then make sure your 2 feet is on the floor, nice and stable, to give you like a comfortable posture. And then your palms facing upwards on your knees. Palms are very a spiritual part of our body. Masters taught us that it's a place where we receive light and also we can shoot out light. So by doing this, it's like, just imagine like we're receiving light from heaven. Yeah. So place it like this. And then if you can imagine that there's like a golden thread that's latched onto the top of your head, and then it's like pulling you a little bit up. And then you'll have a nice straight back, your spine is straight, your neck is straight, and then your head is also straight like this in a singular line. This is very, very important to have a singular line like this. Works like an antenna, Master has taught us, to receive light from heaven. And then that's the posture. The breathing is breathe in from the nose and out from the mouth is what I recommend. You can either do breathing in from the mouth and out from the nose too, but it tends to dry out your mouth if you do that. So what I recommend is breathe in from the nose and then out from the mouth. Now, when you breathe in like this. And then when you breathe out slowly, as if you're breathing out a thin string of air. Then breathe in from the nose. And then breathe out from your mouth slowly. By doing this, it allows you not to breathe from your lungs, but also from your lower stomach, which is very, very important. All right, let's practice this a little bit. Please straighten your back. If you have any like tensions in your shoulders or your neck, please stretch it out right now. All right, please sit up straight, palms facing upwards on your knees, close your eyes lightly, and let's practice this deep breathing for 2 minutes at your own pace. In from the nose, you count 1, out from the mouth, you count 2. Just focus on the numbers. Don't allow your mind to go somewhere else. Just focus on the numbers. All right, let us begin. We'll do it for 2 minutes. Please end your deep breathing practice. And please open your eyes. Thank you very much. So this is the breathing concentration exercise. I can see that 80% of the people here are still closing their eyes and doing it. And it feels good, doesn't it? Doesn't it feel good? So this was just 2 minutes, but if you can, please practice this a couple minutes to 5 minutes a day. And this, just like incorporating 5 minutes of this exercise into your daily routine will have a drastic change in your life. 1 year to come, 3 years to come, 10 years from now, you'll see yourself a totally different person. Master Okawa talks about this in a book called The Royal Road of Life. Just being able to sustain a peaceful mind every day will make you into an incredible person, incredible figure in 10 years. You'll see the magic, the wonders. Why? Going back to what I explained earlier, God, El Cantare, the eternal Buddha, is already sending us tremendous amount of light from the 9th dimension that's at the core of our souls. And there's already a spiritual flow that's coming to us, yet we're the ones who's been blocking it. Just take off that blockage. You will definitely see a miraculous turnaround in your life. 5 minutes a day, ladies and gentlemen. Please practice this. The last part of how to cleanse our thought tape. It's important to switch the channel of the mind. Like I said, right? The thank you, I'm sorry, and congratulations. If I say it like that, it's very simple. But if we break it down in sentences that's necessary for us to live a good life, it gives us a good hint of how we have to change maybe some of our channels that was turning in the wrong way. There's a book called Words for Life. It's a book consisted of 100 short phrases that helps you contemplate to live a better life. And at the afterword in this Kyoten, I wrote it on the PowerPoint here, the Master Okawa says, he picked out the teachings that are necessary as the basic teachings to meditate on so that you can reflect on yourself. 100 short sentences. Like I said, there's 3,000 books that Master Okawa has written. Where do I start to find happiness so that I can change the channel of my mind? Start with this. And today, I've chosen 19 out of the 100, because if we do all 100, it's a little hard. So 19 out of the 100 of how to switch the channel of our minds so that it leads to happiness. If you're on Zoom right now, please take a screenshot of this right now so that you can look at this in our reflection time we'll be doing later. And for those who are here, I made this sheet. And what I like you to do is I'm going to read each one from the top. And if you feel something that, oh, wait, maybe this is something I need to contemplate on, check it, but don't check it with your pen because people around you will be knowing, like, you know. So to keep it private, you can just imagine, like, all right, number 3, number 7, just keep it in your mind. Because after this, we're going to take 5 minutes to just contemplate reflectively on the sentences that hit you the most. So try to choose 2 or 3. All right, let's look at it from the top. Number 3, you are not living. It is God who is allowing you to live. It's like to awaken to the fact that you're given everything already, actually. And then number 7, know that being too greedy is shameful. Do you have excessive greed? Is your, like, sentences in the mind, is it always, I want, I wish, I had? Is it always this, I want, I want, I want? Let's check on that. 16, saying I'm sorry is not a defeat, but a step towards success. Is your pride stopping you to genuinely feel bad for the mistakes you've done? 17, when jealous of someone, try to find their admirable aspects. Jealousy tortures us. When you are poisoned by the toxic mind called jealousy, we can't fall asleep. But the best way out of it is actually to congratulate that person. because you actually want to be that person or whatever he has, you want to have that. So if you congratulate it, you're actually making your subconscious ordering yourself to become closer to that. 27. If you can control your anger well, you are on the road to the truth. 29. If you have a strong victim mentality, you'll be on the road of revenge. 30. Saying thank you will take you one step closer to heaven. 40. Love deeply, quietly, and patiently. 46. Oftentimes, when you think, I don't want to be like that person, you'll end up becoming just like them. This is a surprising truth. 56. You are self-absorbed if you constantly care about how others evaluate you. 62. If you refuse to listen to others, it shows you are full of vanity. 66. If you want to make good friends, first, be independent. 73. Don't make excuses. You can become a little stronger that way. 74. To what extent can you accept things as your responsibility? This shows your caliber. 75. Do you have the habit of reflecting on yourself? That is the only way to make progress every day. 79. Angels to be are people who are strict with themselves and generous with others. 92. Aspire for a beautiful life, not a beautiful appearance. 97. Arrogant people look down on others. They have no love for other people. And 99. People without courage cannot truly be wise. They cannot make decisions or take action. All right, please think about 2 or 3 or just one is fine. And let's contemplate reflectively so that we can change the channel. Once again, please sit up straight. If you need to stretch, do a little bit of stretch. And when we do self-reflection, it's up to you, palms facing upwards like this, or you can put your hands in prayer like this. This means in Buddhism, you're entering the middle path, away from the two extremes. So this is a very helpful posture to reflect on yourself. Also, sometimes what we do is we put our left hand on the bottom and the right hand on top, putting the 4 fingers on top of the left 4 fingers like this, and then closing the seal with your 2 thumbs like this, and putting this in front of your, like putting it on your laps like this, in front of your stomach, like this, when you're sitting. And then Master has taught us that when your self-reflection deepens with this posture, you'll feel a little bit of light in your palms. But this is a little advanced, so you don't have to don't focus on like lighting your palms, but just focus on cleansing your mind. So whatever posture that's most comfortable for you. All right, please, let's reflect for 5 minutes on any of the sentences that struck your heart. Let's begin. Thank you very much. Please end your contemplations. The one that I was working on was number 40. Love deeply, quietly, and patiently. Every time there's a little bit of an irritation or when you feel upset in a human relationship, I was thinking in my contemplation, it's because you're actually not loving that person deeply enough. If I was his or her parents, how would I have seen the situation, right? And then quietly, I don't have to show off that I'm trying to help this person. Being a clear wind, was I being a clear wind? And then patiently, whether it be take 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, or even if that person won't awaken to the fact of my good intentions, can I still give without shaking my mind? So those were the things that I was thinking, and it definitely helped me shift my mind, the needle of the mind, to a better direction. And it takes a little bit of practice, but I hope that you are able to gain some sort of inspiration of switching the channel of the mind so that if you were able to, that's a tremendous feat, ladies and gentlemen, because now your thought tape is cleansed. So not only does it shoo away negative spirits, but now you're attracting the light of your guardian spirit. And now that you are pointed towards heaven, you can actually use the power of the mind, not just for protection from evil spirits, but in a very proactive, constructive way to further your light and to share that light to others and to strengthen that love. We're going to get into the last part of today's seminar, how to use your unconscious mind, or in other terms, the subconscious. What is your subconscious? In a book called The Laws of Wealth, Master has taught us, your unconscious mind will determine your destiny. Like I said, the power of the mind has creative energy, and subconscious mind makes up more than 90% of our minds. So the creative energy that God has given us, 90% of it is actually dormant. It's sleeping unless you know how to use it. And one example of checking to see how your subconscious mind is working is check your dreams. This comes from Dr. Murphy, Joseph Murphy. He is one of the guiding angels of happy science. He's really good friends with Master Okawa spiritually. And what he said, Joseph Murphy is saying, if you want to know if your subconscious mind is working in the right direction, check your dreams. And it works wonders. If I were to give you a personal story, I used to have a very impoverished mindset, which means it comes from this religious piety of like being poor and pious is a good thing, like as a religious person. So having money is like bad. I knew that that's wrong to hear, but every time I would see a movie, if I see a scene where there's like an old family and they're eating like something in a very dark home and they don't have anything, but they have family unity, I feel like, oh, I feel so warm-hearted by seeing that scene. But my good friend of mine, when she saw that scene, she's like, oh, that's so poor. I want to be living in the richer house and eating better like steak. And I was like, what? What a cruel person. But then that was my subconscious acting that wealth is bad, right? So then every time I'd see dreams, I never, ever had a single dream in my life where I lived in a great mansion or driving a wonderful car. I never had a dream like that before. Apparently, some of my friends do. So then when I read the teachings of Murphy, I was like, holy moly, this is bad. I'm like a ghost of poverty. So what do I do? How can I gain the power of wealth to spread more love? I started, like, I'm going to teach you 3 steps that I'm going to show you right now. When I did that, ladies and gentlemen, I saw the most affluent dream ever. It was amazing. It's a weird dream, but it's like, do you know Japan? Have you been to Japan? There's a place called Osaka. It's like the western part of Japan, and Osaka people love making money, right? So, so I was looking at Japan from far away, and then in my dream, it's like I don't know if I'm on a spaceship or something, but I'm like detecting something, and then I get this radar beeping. I was like, here. So I go down to Osaka and I start digging for some reason, right? In my dream, I'm digging, and digging, and all of a sudden, it's like very dark while I'm digging, but when I put that last strike, this like light bursted out from the bottom and from the ground, and these huge golden koban, so these golden emblems poured out. And for some reason, I don't know why, on the face of the golden emblem, there was a picture of a gorilla. What? It's a weird, dreams are weird, but so like these golden emblems of gorilla-faced emblems just started pouring out. And I was like, wow, now I can be rich. And then I woke up. That was the very first dream that I've ever seen of something that's related to wealth. And I was like, this is it. It worked. And ever since then, I do see a lot of improvements in the people around me becoming, I'm a monk, so I'm not like, my profession is about getting rich, but the people around me are getting richer. I'm really seeing that. The members who are coming in New York Temple, because I usually minister at New York, they're getting richer, no joke. And I was like, this is the power of the subconscious mind. So let's learn real quickly how to use the 3 steps to use the power of the subconscious mind. Number 1, use simple positive words repeatedly. Repeatedly. You have to soak and permeate your subconscious with repetitive positive words. The subconscious is like, it's like an underground subway. So it's so deep that just ordering it once, it won't hear it. You got to do it over and over, and then it permeates, it saturates it. You got to saturate your subconscious with like sprinkling positive words, right? And the way to do it, let's see, I talked about this, repeated thinking. Here's very important. Your subconscious accepts just the order, the last sentence. It won't listen to your conditions. So the conclusion is very important. This is good news, ladies and gentlemen. It means just simple orders. You don't have to say, all right, you don't have to give it a plan. So 5 years from now, I'm going to get a promotion. I'm going to get a new job. I'm going to move over to the Bay Area with this new house because of this new job. And then I'll earn this much. The subconscious is bored when you start saying the conditions and how to get there. It only listens to the result, the conclusion only. So, I'm rich is enough. I'm rich, or I love wealth. Wealth is pouring into me because I have good intentions. As a warrior of God, I have so much wealth. Like this, it's just give it simple conclusions. All right. And to practice that today, the best magical word for this is I can. I can. A lot of times, psychologically, if your mind is not like acceptable enough to these kind of like powerful concluding statements, it'll like, even if you say I'm rich, the second thought that bounces back would be, but I'm not. So it cancels it out. So in order to stop this canceling mechanism, it's like be going to, I'm going to, I can. And like you're kind of like massaging your subconscious to accept these positive results. So I can is a very powerful, magical sentence. And then you can add anything after the I can. I can achieve a great success. I can get a promotion. You're not saying I have great success, right? I can get a great success. I can land my dream job. I can earn X amount of money a year. I can save, if you're a missionary, I can save X numbers of souls. I can be a great leader. And if you're a Happy Science member, we all want to be bodhisattvas, I can be a bodhisattva. Whatever it is, use the word I can, and then it gradually, like I said, forms your subconscious to be able to accept positive results. So, for 1 minute, what do you want to achieve in your life? Money, money, money. I heard money, money, money. Good. Money, money, money. I can be rich, right? I can be rich. Whatever it is in your mind that you want to achieve, please think of that. Please think, I can, blah, blah, blah. And in your mind, let's repeatedly order our subconscious. And the point is, say it, like you don't have to say it out loud, but say it in your mind slowly and confidently. Slowly and confidently, you're ordering your subconsciousness. All right. I'm sure we all have something that we want in our lives, right? All right, think about that. Think about that. Put that sentence after the I can, blah, blah, blah. Ready, guys? Put your hands in prayer. Look straight up in heaven. Receive the unlimited amount of light in heaven that Alcantara is about to give you. For 1 minute, think in your mind, I can, ... Please begin. That was 1 minute. I'm sorry that was very short, but please practice this while you're driving your car, whatever you're doing. Repeat it over and over and over again. Second way to use your subconscious mind, picturization or visualization. I'm sure you've all heard about this, learned about this, done this, and let me give you the statistics though. There's only 1 out of 100 people who can actually apply this into their lives. It's a discipline. People are always like, oh, I heard, okay, all I got to do is visualize, but they go home and they don't do it. Even if they start doing it, they have like a vision board, but they're preoccupied with their daily busyness and they forget to do it, right? So it takes persistence, but it's worth doing because it really, truly 100% works. The point though, is whatever you visualize, you got to believe that it can happen, the bottom part, you got to believe that it can happen, and you're going to have to accept the results. And then you have to affirm that it has to happen, right? You got to, this is from the Laws of Future, chapter 1, for those who would like to learn more from Master's book, Laws of Future, chapter 1. You have to first believe that it can happen, and then accept the end results. Accept that it's already happened, right? Accept that it has happened, and then affirm that it really must happen. That you can't just picturize it. You got to go through these 3 steps. Believe that it can happen, accept the results, and affirm that it must happen. Okay. Whatever you said, I can, blah, 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 earlier. Let's put a picture on it. Picturize it on your canvas, on your mental canvas. Draw it out, make it 3D, make it colorful, and enjoy that moment. We're going to take 2.5 minutes to visualize that end result happening. Ready, guys? Sorry, we're going to take 3 minutes. Let's first, let me show you a guide for the mind, Master's teachings on the power of visualization. And then after that, we'll take 2 minutes of visualization. So first, let's listen or watch the teachings here. Please close your eyes and visualize the words of health and happiness and health. Please begin. I'm sure you guys are going to have a very good dream tonight. A successful dream. And the last part of how to use a subconscious mind is receive the power of heaven. Like I said, the subconscious mind is connected to all the different dimensions. And as long as you can receive the aid of the heavenly world, your ideas will change to gold. The new awakenings that you have in your daily life is golden dust. It'll accumulate to gold and happiness and health. But to do so, today was just the beginning. You gotta stay connected every day, ladies and gentlemen. A step out there is a world of negativity, unfortunately. The world out there is pretty tough these days. So we, Happy Science, and Master Okawa, the Sangha, the teachings, what we're trying to do is to help you stay positive and in line with the truth all the time. So you can stay connected in many different ways. We have YouTube channel, we have Instagram to get daily little bit of information. And also you can receive the sutra for a $10 donation. And like I said, today's talk was on chapter 1 and 2 from this book, The Laws of the Sun. You can also get the whole copy of this. You'll see that there's hundreds of books over there of how to be happy. And the minister Masako and also Tyler will be able to help you out if you want to start out with whatever book that you like. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Grasp this chance. You will be happy by disciplining your mind and changing your mind. In my words from my country, arigato. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now, shall we move on to barbecue? Yeah. Sorry. Thank you all so much for joining from Zoom. Bye-bye.